Hello, everyone. Welcome to the review of Accounting 101 midterm. Dr. Donna Barr is here. So, the midterm is done, it's in the books, it's behind us, but I definitely wanted to take a few minutes to go over in detail the overall synopsis of the midterm. So, the midterm was pretty good. The overall average was in the 80s. I did have a few students that did exceptionally well, and on the tail end, we had some students that did struggle. And the area, as expected, where I think people struggled the most was the journal entry portion. It was a significant portion of the overall midterm, and as I mentioned, you weren't able to pass the midterm if you didn't have a good grasp of journal entries. And just to let you know, midterm journal entries will be on the finals as well. So I wanted to take a few moments to go over the overall midterm. All right. So the first question was the formula for accounting equation, and most people did pretty well with this since it was open book. So it's A equal L plus E. So that's assets equal liability plus equity. Now, the second one were what are the names of the four main financial statements? You have your income statement, your balance sheet, your cash flow, and your owner's equity. In which order are transactions recorded in the journal? So, transactions are recorded by date or chronological order. What is the name of the left side of the T account? The left side is the debit side. Increases in expenses are recorded on which side of the journal entry? And they're recorded on the debit side. An increase in revenue recorded on the are increases in revenue recorded on the debit or credit side? On the credit side. Increases in liabilities are recorded on which side of the journal entry? On the credit side. It says, which financial statement give you a snapshot of the overall health of the business? The balance sheet. I've said that multiple times. What are the three main types of expenses? And I think we did this week, lecture 1, lecture 2, very early. Fixed, variable, and periodic. I give a detailed explanation of it. Fixed assets don't change. Your variable, per the name, it changes. And your periodic, once in a while. Most of you guys gave great examples of all three. Some people, not so much, and your score reflects that. So let's get into the multiple choice of it. Number 10, which of the following items would not fall under the definition of assets? So assets are things that you own. So the answer is actually D, owner's equity. And the thing is, equity is anything invested in the business by the owner, while asset is owned by the company to provide future benefit. So it seems like it's similar, but if you even think about the balance sheet, asset is on this side and equity is on the other side. So equity is not asset. It might seem like it is, but it's not. Number 11, which of the following item would fall under the definition of a liability? Tax owed, right? So things that you owe are liabilities. Question 12, which statement shows you the business's incoming and outgoing cash? Remember the definition of the cash flow statement? It tracks the inflows and outflows of a company's cash movements. So number 13, the three parts of the balance sheet, and that would be A as in apple, asset, liability, and equity. So question 14, which of the following is not another name for the statement of retained earning? And that would be number B as in boy, shareholders statement. Number 15, what statement is also known as a profit and loss statement? I think I did one where I say it gives you a fancy name, but it's like a fancy budget. and that's the income statement, right? Question 16, which is not one of the four primary financial statements? The operation statement, which is number C. All right. Now, let's get into the journal entries. And this is how important the journal entry was. I legitly made up a massive journal entry. I hope you can see it. It's so big, so you won't see my face, but you'll see this, right? So, we don't know. Hopefully this can. So the first one says, on January 1st, the main thing with journal entries are the dates. So I hope you guys can see it. So I have the dates running all down, right? And you can see that there's a lot of red, and the red are no entry. And this is how important it is. I need you guys to get it because it will be on the finals. So let's go through this quickly. So it says on January 1, Grace deposited $25,000 from her personal savings into the business. So we debit the receiver and we credit the giver. So from Grace's business's point of view, what came in on January 1? Bank and capital. We credit capital for $25,000. On January 1st, she paid registration charges. Paid, so that money is walking out of the business. So I already know that I'm definitely crediting bank, right? And it's an expense. So she paid registration expense, right? January 2nd, if you see a big red rent office space for a monthly of $900 payable at the end of the month, and it's $900 cash. So she just rented it, payable at the end of the month. This is January 2nd. So I put a big fat in red, no entry. Nothing is going on the 2nd. This is just informational, right? And then on the 3rd, we purchased computer equipment for $500 cash. So what are we receiving? We're receiving equipment, and what is walking out of the door? We are out of the door. Money is walking out of the door, and that's $500 cash, and that's why you see cash is credited for $500. On January 5th, Grace paid a $100 check for advertising expense to print flyers and banners. So, what are we getting? I'm not sure what we're getting, but I paid check, so I know that bank is $100. I hope this is not upside down. Is it? I don't think so. I hope it's not upside down. So bank is $100, and advertising expense would be debited, right? So on January 7th, Grace provided service for a customer and received $450 cash, right? So money is coming in. So that's why you see on January 7th, debit the receiver, cash, right? And what we credit, service revenue, right? On January 15th, she hired 2 full-time workers to be paid a salary of $10.50 each cash every 2 weeks. So conceptually, she just hired 2 people on January 15th, and the deal is they're going to get $1,050 each cash every 2 weeks. So on the 15th, no entry, right? Because this is when she hired them. So the next one says that on January 16th, she paid utility bill due $100 from the business bank account. So utility, we debit, and bank, because money is walking out, we credit for $100, yeah? All right, on the 17th, Grace applied for a $5,000 business loan from the bank. Those people who didn't get this right tells me that you did not watch the lecture carefully. Grace walked into the bank and she applied for a loan. I did not say she got the loan or anything. So that is a big no entry. I was disappointed that some people didn't get this one. This one hurt the most. Okay, so January 17th was a no entry. On January 30th, Grace paid her employees. Oh, but Dr. Burris, you didn't give me an information. I did. I gave you the information all the way back on the 15th. For January 30th, that would be wages payable, right? Wages for 2,100. And how did we get the 2,100? Two employees at 1050 each. 1050 times two give you 2,100, and we said that we're going to pay cash, so cash is walking out the door. And then on the 30th, she also received $10 interest growth in her business bank account. So she got some interest on her money in the bank. So that was $10 that's coming in, and interest revenue was $10 as the credit. And on the 31st, rent was paid for the month. And we had given you the information back earlier in January. So the rent was $900, and cash was walking out of the door for $900. All right. So this is it. The main thing was we had the date, you debit the receiver, and you credit the giver. Alrighty. So I hope this helps in understanding journal entries. Every single thing that I put on the journal entry, we had discussed in both lectures before, in addition, where I'd asked you guys to do your independent research. Now, please take a good look at this, because journal entries will be on the finals. And we have already put journal entries to bed, so I will not be lecturing on journal entries anymore, but please know it will be on the finals. All right. Again, we've already hit the halfway point, 8 down, 8 to go. And I hope that this helped to clear up any questions or concerns that you guys might have. All righty. Thank you. Bye-bye.